In this episode, I asked Jim if he uses a script and when scripts fail. He says yes and no in the same episode. If you want to figure out how Jim has spent years learning this process and learn some of the frameworks that we teach in Rethink You 2.0 and the process we go through when walking someone through a sale, tune into this episode. I really believe you're going to enjoy it.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Something we talk a lot about is the power of strong voicemails, the power of strong phone calls, right? Preparing beforehand what you want to say. So are there power in sales scripts, and when do they let you down?
I never really had a sales script. I created my own, but over time it became a sales script because it was the same thing every single time. So
it was just committed to memory.
But I never really wrote it out is what I'm saying. So the one thing I want to do when I'm leaving a voicemail is, first of all, I want to make sure that I'm communicating nonverbally. I want to smile into the phone. I would be better served to be standing when I leave that voicemail. I want to use my hands when I talk because I'm a hand talker. So I like to be hands-free. And so number one, when I leave a voicemail, I want to identify myself and I want to give my phone number right up front. You don't want the client to get the whole way through the voicemail to get your phone number. So I leave my phone number right up front and make it very clear, spell it out, so to speak. And then I tell them the reason that I called. And the best way to get the client to call you back is to talk about the deal. I have to talk generalistic here because I don't know what we're talking about per se as far as a specific customer. But let's assume that the customer was in the dealership yesterday. My number one mission is to have the customer come back and buy a car.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm going to give my name right up front. I'm going to give them my phone number right up front so they have that right away. And then I'm going to tell them that the reason I called is I've been working on the transaction and I got some great news. And I really want to talk to you about what I've come up with. So if you could, please give me a call back. When you get a chance, I'll give you all the details. My name is Jim Shorkey. My cell phone number is 412-651-1319. And I want to talk to you about the great news that I have for you on the deal that we talked about yesterday. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you real soon. I want to be compelling. If I talk about the deal, if I leave you that voicemail, you're going to call me. Are you going to call me back?
Yeah, I want to know what the update is. I was in yesterday. We didn't finish the transaction for whatever reason.
Right. And I've been working on it. And so when you call me back, I'm going to give you those details. And I don't know what those details are because I'm not in the deal. But I would have an idea. For example, you're trading a car in. So what kind of car are you have right now?
I have a minivan.
So you're calling me back. You have a minivan, right?
Yep.
What year is the minivan?
The minivan is a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan.
Okay. So when you left, I went and talked to the used car buyer about your van. He made a few phone calls, did a little research, and he thinks he can give you more money for your van. But he really wants to look at it. He was busy yesterday, so he didn't look at it. One of the other managers did. We are serious about giving you a better offer. When can you bring the van down?
I think tomorrow, Friday. Yeah, I think I can bring it down tomorrow.
Morning, afternoon, or evening?
Probably in the afternoon. Yeah, a doctor's appointment in the morning.
Works? Can we make an appointment for tomorrow at 3 p.m.?
Yeah, let me add it to my calendar.
Great. I'll do the same. Awesome. And I'll make sure when I hang up here, I'll make sure that I go talk to the used car buyer to make sure he's going to be here.
Yep.
Because I don't want you to waste your trip.
Yep.
So he's got to look at the car.
Yeah. Why don't you just give me a call if he's not available?
Yeah. But assuming he is available, then I'm not going to call you back. I don't want to bother you. You're busy. But would that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let's just repeat. We have an appointment tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're going to have our used car buyer look at your van and try real hard to give you more money for the van tomorrow when we get together than we were yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, it is perfect.
That helps me out, right?
It does.
There was some reason I didn't take that deal yesterday.
Yeah.
We're role playing here, so I don't know exactly what that was.
Well, neither do I. But at the end of the day, we want the client to come back, and we do want his van, and we are going to look at his van, and we are going to give him a better offer.
Right.
Now, what does better mean?
It's probably subjective. It's not like you have some crazy margin that you can go up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if I gave him a $50 better deal, would that be a better deal?
It would be a better deal.
So I haven't lied, I haven't misled. I haven't given him any numbers. So that is probably along the lines of what I would do. I would probably give $100 more for the van. And Derek would say, $100? That's nothing. I thought I'd get at least X. So I respect that, and I appreciate that, Derek, but I don't know. Are you in the habit of throwing $100 around?
No.
I have an answer for everything you give me. I think $100 is a lot of money. How about you?
Yeah.
So it is $100.
Right.
And if it was $500, it already would be $500. So it's not going to be $500.
Right.
Now, whether I can squeeze the boss a little more or not, I don't know yet. But I think your suggestion of a $500 better deal is not reasonable. Is there some wiggle room on your end? And I'll see if there's some wiggle room on our end.
Yeah, I think if we were around 200, 250, I'd feel better about it.
Let me go look at it. Did you see how this is going? Number one, we treated the client right the first time. Okay.
Period.
Then we made a good phone call. Now they're back, and we're doing a little bit of negotiating. Derek is coming up with an unrealistic number, which is perfectly fine. It's his household, his family, his money. I'm also coming up with what I think is a reasonable offer. We agree a little bit on that, come up with a little bit here, a little bit there, and we make a deal. Do you think we're going to make a deal?
I think so.
Exactly. We're going to make a deal. And that's
It's
really
if I were like, I need 10,000 more on that trade-in, or
not
even
happening.
1,000 more.
It's
on that
not
trade-in.
happening.
You know?
What is an effective phone call? One that's passionate and emotional. Hence the training and the book on phone calls that I recommended. We want to make sure that the phone call is the most effective/efficient phone call that it can be. And if we make 10 of those phone calls, we're going to get a certain number of people back.
That's right.
Based on the phone calls, and the better the quality of the phone call, the more people we're going to get back. Now, once we get them back in, based on the fact that they were here before, the chances of us selling a car are really high. So the idea would be to make the most effective phone calls we can, get as many people back as we possibly can, and then we're going to close a certain number of those transactions. Are we going to close them all? No, we're not. We're just not. It doesn't work that way. It's a mathematical thing. It's just not realistic. Are they going to try to do that? Yes, they are. But to bank on it, it's just not realistic. So if you think you're going to get them all, you're not. You're not going to get them all. But we're going to try real hard to get every single one at a time. Remember I said, we're not going to talk about the other guy over here, only the guy right here in front of us.
That's right.
This guy's no longer in the picture. This guy that's in the future is not in the picture yet. So we're only going to talk about the person in front of us, do the best we can, the most efficient, everything we can.
Yes.
And that's going to give us the best chance of selling a car. Then we move on to the next customer. We do everything we possibly can in the best, most efficient manner we can. And if we keep doing that consistently, we are going to sell more stuff. No, we're not. But we have to try real hard with everybody.
You know, you have that sales script in your head kind of memorized, and you're able to maneuver and
Pivot, yeah, pivot.
But
It's called pivoting, yeah.
When did, you know, if somebody's so scripted, when does that fail?
When it becomes reading from the script. Hi, my name is Jim Shorkey, and I'm calling you today to see if you'd be interested in bringing your trade-in back so that my used car buyer can evaluate it a second time and try to give you more money for your car. It's very obvious. It's got to be really extemporaneous and from the heart.
I mean, that how you did it sounded much more robotic. Hi, this is Jim
very
Shorkey
robotic. Yeah.
calling. I was just calling because I wanted to talk with my, and they're stumbling over words, and but they're reading.
How many of us have made the phone call to the business and it's a computer answering the phone?
Yeah.
And it's really emotional, isn't it? It's let me out of here.
Yeah.
So if we have, and I understand it, it's a great idea and it works well for the for certain aspect of business. But if I'm talking to a person and they're talking to me like that, does the value go up or the value go down?
Down.
Okay. As it goes down, my chances of selling a car go down as well.
Impressions of that.
I'm the guy.
Right.
I got to put me into it. They're buying a car from me, not from some automated machine.
Yeah.
So,
And you talk a lot about first impressions and that impression of that person. It's not that they're a bad person. It's just they don't actually care that much.
you never, ever get a second chance to make a good first impression. Even if you make up for that bad first impression, the first impression is always bad. You're working on having a great second impression, which you certainly can. People say you can atone for it. No, you can't. You made a bad impression. That's always going to be the first impression. Now, you did a great second impression, and that turned it around, and you sold a car, and life's great. But still, if you ever talk to the client, when I first met you, I thought you were a total jerk. That's their first impression. And we've all had it, haven't we? So you don't get a second chance to make a good first impression. So that's why you asked me earlier. That's why I want to play rock music when I'm getting ready in the morning. That's why I want to do my affirmations. That's why on the way to work, I'm going to be listening to Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, whoever that would be. It's going to pump me up. It's going to give me good knowledge. Peter Attia, we talked about. And that's why when I get to the dealership, I'm going to be ready. Are my teeth brushed? Did I take a shower this morning? Do I look like I'm dressed for success? Am I dressing to my clients? When I'm ready to have a client in front of me, am I just getting done with my cheeseburger? That is not acceptable. It's just not. So we need to eat our cheeseburger, tell whoever that we're going to be doing that, get it done, go brush your teeth real quick, and then come back down to the showroom and say, okay, I'm done, I'm ready to go. Are there any clients in need right now? Yeah, there's somebody up there in the lot looking for a sunglass. I'm ready to go. But I've done my work.
Yes.
I did my push-ups. I listened to my Zig Ziglar. I read my 10 pages of the book that you and I are studying right now, whatever the case may be. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm driving to work. I'm listening to Rocky, man. I'm ready to freaking KO somebody. I'm ready to rock and roll. And when I get up there, the client's going to see that I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm not a jerk. I'm not a moron. I'm just glad that they're here. I'm glad that I'm here. And thank you for coming in today. I'm going to say that genuinely from the heart. And then I'm going to start into my discovery process.
Yeah.
I'm ready. And last thought, it's interesting. I was talking to my brother Russell, who's 13 years younger than I am, almost like a son to me, right? And we're talking about what would I do if you all of a sudden said, Jim, there's a client up there in the lot. Everybody's busy. We need you to go up there and talk to the client. I said to my brother, so what would I do? And he said,
It's obvious.
You would do exactly what you're asking us to do. I said, that's exactly right. I would, first of all, thank them for coming in. I would ask them for their name. I would ask their permission to write it down because I'm terrible with remembering names. I got Jackson because of Jackson Hole. I don't know how I forget, but I know Marshall now. Anyways, Jackson, would it be okay if I wrote your name down? I'm heck on names, and I don't want to forget your name. Here's my business card. That way you can remember me. And Jackson, what is your last name? Welsh. And how do you spell that? W-E-L-S-H. Is it okay if I write that down so that I can remember? Great. Wonderful. Now, I'm so glad you stopped in today, by the way, again. Thank you for that. What I would like to do, we have about 1,000 cars here, okay? And I know you don't want to look at them all, am I right? So I have a few questions that I've developed over the years that are going to help me to help you pick out the ideal car for you. Would it be okay if I asked you a few questions? Takes no more than 5 to 7 minutes to ask these questions. Would that be okay? Would it be okay if I wrote notes? Because I forget stuff. So I'm going to ask you the questions, and I'm going to take notes. Is that okay? First question. In this process that we call car, shopping, physically buying the car, owning the car, down the road, 5 years, 10 years down the road, this is a car now. This whole process that we call your car relationship, what is most important to you?
Having something that doesn't empty my pockets so that I can enjoy driving and possibly work on myself.
So first of all, would be economical to drive. I got it. Write that down. Second would be something you can work on yourself. Okay, wonderful. What is next most important to you?
Something fun, not just
So you want a fun vehicle. Okay, wonderful. What is next most important to you?
maybe 4 seats, something that I could put a family in.
4 seats, okay. So we're going to stop there. You mentioned something that is not going to make you go broke in terms of the ability to drive it. Beyond the obvious, why is that so important to you?
I need to just save for the future if we're still focusing on the money part, just spend my funds wisely.
Okay, excuse me if you don't mind me asking.
Just myself thinking about the future.
You said we, though. You didn't say me, you said we. Is there more than one
It's
person?
about a future self.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so just really trying to keep an eye on the dollars and whatnot, which is wonderful. That's a great answer. Thank you. And you mentioned something that you could work on yourself. Beyond the obvious, why is that so important to you?
I enjoy working on it myself. I think it's part of the car relationship.
Now I'm going to stop here. But do you see how we've moved from logic to emotion? And when I got you to say, I enjoy working on it myself, you went to another level. So I've got that written down, and I've got the why written down. And I will go through the same thing with the 4 seats, and I don't want to take up too much time on the podcast, but you can see where I'm going. And when I get this done, these questions answered, now I'm going to script my presentation around your list here. And I'm going to go A to Z and knock your socks off because I'm going to go right to where you want to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're going to pound this 4 seats. What's that all about? You're going to tell me. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be emotional. And if I can get you into the emotion of it, then I can sell to that emotion versus the logic. That make sense? Do you see where I just went there? I took you somewhere you didn't think I was going to take you. Pardon? I did. I know I did. I know what I'm doing. And I got you on emotion just with that one little thing. And it's not a little thing because it's important to you, but there's more in there, isn't there? I would have got way more emotional when I got into this thing in a deeper level. Do you see where I went there? Now you say, where's my script?
Yeah.
It's in here. No, I don't sell from a script. But yes, I do sell from a script. I just know the script so well that it's coming out of my liver right now. I sweat it and I bleed it. I know it so well. I can do this in my sleep because I've practiced it and read it and wrote it down. And I know that when I call Jackson back tomorrow, I'm going to say, hello, is Jackson there? And Jackson's going to say, hey, this is Jackson. Hey, Jackson, this is Jim Shorkey calling. Did I interrupt anything important? Thank you so much for taking my call. I just wanted to call and thank you for stopping in yesterday. I really enjoyed our visit. Hope you had a good time as well. And I wanted to ask you just one more question. Would that be okay? What can I do to sell you a car today? No answer. Isn't that a good question? Jackson says, you know what, if you could just get me that remote control mirror, if you could just get me that whatever, he's going to say something or maybe not. But why not ask the question? So often we don't even ask the question. So often we don't even make the phone call. And just make the phone call, do it the right way, and ask the right questions. And the sales will go up.
Yeah. That makes so much sense because what Jim's saying is how to be present in each moment that he's with someone in front of him. He's trained and trained. So yes, he has some script and a process, which we talked about in quite a few previous episodes, but he's committed this to memory. As you do sales more and more, like I have a script too. I wouldn't say I have it written down and know exactly what it is, but I know when someone calls my marketing team to work with us, then we want to lead them down a certain pathway, not because we're trying to make them buy X, Y, or Z, but because we think that if we can have a conversation, we're going to discover what's best for them. So Jim, thank you for just sharing your wisdom on how to learn and train and use those sales scripts to leave a voicemail, to make a better phone call, to have a better interaction, right? So guys, leave in the comments below what you've learned from this episode, right? If you made it to the end, leave us a dolphin emoji in the comments. We love to know when people have made it to the end of the video. It helps the algorithm push us out to more people. Thank you, Jim. Good stuff.